Hi, everybody. Welcome to AITA Pod Bonus. I'm Daniel Vegasmith, joined by Shanita D.
That's me.
There we go. We're at Spotify headquarters. Always a cool feeling to be here.
Yes, we are. This is our first time recording here, just us.
Yeah.
We always have guests.
Every single time. Crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Crazy. But we're here.
We're here now. Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah. Life is good. I'm in a good mood.
Good.
Thanks for driving all this way, Shano.
Of course. Not too bad.
It is crazy. I mean, I'm wondering because, like, Phoenix traffic has gotten so much worse, but, like, traffic is just such a defining LA thing. It is, like, the most defining thing. Because, like, yeah, other cities have crappy parking sometimes, but, like, where you have to plan on traffic in LA.
You really do.
You really do.
It's true, but Honolulu is really bad traffic, too.
Oh, no.
Yeah, well, there's only so many places to go. It's so small.
You know what I loved about the Honolulu's when I was with ye old Chelsea Lewis over there? She took me on a freeway, and it was like speed limit was like 45 or you know what I'm talking about? It was so much. It was not 70. It might have been like 60, and I was like, this just feels so like cute and quaint.
Yeah.
And I was like through mountains, like it was gorgeous.
Oh yeah, Honolulu's gorge.
That's Gorgy Porch.
Gorgy Porch. I got an MRI today.
Wait, are you
First
going through
time
health shit
ever.
too? Because I'm going through I have some health paranoia.
Mine's not that bad.
Are you getting to the age? So you got MRI.
Well, I just have been having this thing for the past few years, like couple years maybe. It's like happened 3 times where like whatever my Adam's apple is, like the woman's one, it'll swell up.
Yeah. Oh my God.
And then it's like kind of hard to swallow, and it doesn't hurt the same way like a throat hurts, like a sore throat. It's not like
scary.
strep. But then I'll go and I'll get an antibiotic, and then it'll go away. So it kind of seems like it's like a virus or what's an antibiotic?
Infection.
Infection.
Bacterial infection.
Yeah. But it just happens so much. And the times that I've gone to like urgent care to like get the antibiotic, they'll just be like, yeah, okay, well, here's an antibiotic, but like you should probably go to an ear, nose, throat doctor. There's like a few different things I needed to go to a ENT for, and I kept putting them off because I have this ear thing too. I think it's part of my TMJ. But anyway, I finally did it, and then they said they didn't see anything because like I didn't have a flare up at the time, but they were like, maybe you should get an MRI to make sure there's not like something going on down there. So I did that today, and I was a little panicky, like right before when she like put my head in or whatever, because I get bad claustrophobia.
Yeah, and it's a tight tube, right?
But yeah, but they only put you in like to your kind of mid torso.
Okay.
Because I thought I was going all the way in. So I started like kind of like having a little bit of a panic. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm scared. Like to the woman. She's like, no, it's fine. It's fine. And then she like rolled me back. It was so anticlimactic because I was like barely in the tube at all. And I was like, okay, this is fine. But it's like a half hour or more. And you're just like sitting there with your thoughts.
Half hour?
Yeah. And you cannot move. You can move a little bit of your lower body, but you can't move your head at all.
What do you think about?
Just all sorts of things. Just, yeah. Some creative stuff, I'd say. I was like, this is kind of a nice, like, it's forcing me not to, like, be listening to a podcast or, like, watching reality TV in the background or whatever. So I think it was good. There's a little bit of, like, a meditation kind of thing. But when you're, like, told that you cannot move something, it makes you want to move it more. And like my one side of my head, I was like dying to like move it a little bit, but I was like, if you move it, you're probably gonna have to start over. So like, do not do that, because I was in the waiting room for like an hour, I think, like an hour and a half. The whole thing took forever.
Get in the tube.
And they were like, oh, you'll only be here for 45 minutes. I was there for like 2 hours. So I was like, thank God I parked in the CVS parking lot. Speaking of bad parking.
You do that. See, I don't do that.
Well, I went into CVS right before and grabbed a pack of gum and then kept the receipt just in case. But I was a little bit like, well, I hope not. But the only other thing in the area was street parking. It was an hour.
Oh, so you were screwed.
I had to.
Crazy.
Well, I guess I could have parked in the medical or in the parking garage, but I think it was like $20. So I was taking my chances.
She chanced it.
I chanced it.
She chanced it. That's fun. So you got the old scan.
Yeah, I got a picture of it.
Oh, let's see it.
Of my insides.
Oh boy, what is it? What does it show? What does the MRI even show? Your bones or some shit? That's an X-ray, I guess, right?
Yeah, just like half of my. Where'd it go? Here it is.
Yeah, we got here. We can see here that. Oh wow, that's nasty. That's
like the
you.
side of my.
You've got a very masculine MRI presence.
Really?
I'm joking. Obviously, it's a ridiculous
I can
assertion.
See that,
I've never.
I didn't really even look at it.
Wow.
Weird. I'll post it, you guys.
Look at that. That is. You look like your sister in that MRI.
That's right. That's what we have in common. Our MRIs.
Well, this sure is uncanny, or should I say, unshanny.
Oh. Or undanny.
Or undanny. I'm literally going to see an ENT, ear, nose, throat doctor tomorrow.
Oh, you are?
Yeah.
For what?
Well, I don't know if you noticed, but I have a deviated septum. You certainly have noticed
that.
Huh?
How could I notice that?
There's a crook in my nose.
Oh, a deviated septum means that it's a little crooked.
Yeah, basically. I mean, not necessarily, but yes.
Are you going to get a nose job?
Well, it's called a septoplasty. A rhinoplasty is a nose job.
Okay.
And basically they
go in
there, get in there and crack it out.
Do you have issues breathing? Well, I know you have that breathing problem.
Yeah, you've called me out for my breathing.
Yes.
I don't really know what it is. How would you describe it? I actually thought of that because I had a very paranoid couple of days.
It's like when you're working on the laptop, like it's when we're like being silent and we're doing like work. We're not speaking. You're like.
I think that's just like a tick. I don't even think that's breathing related.
Really?
Yeah, because that's so. Well, here's what I convinced myself that I had sleep apnea because I smoked a cigarette. Guys, don't smoke cigarettes.
Wait, I smoked a cigarette this weekend too for the first time in years.
I don't know what's going on.
I just had the itch.
I did it. I did a set. I had a really great show, so I did a set. And I was like, yeah, I want to post that cig, it's like a really nice feeling. And anyway, that usually clogs my sinuses. So then I had really like bad sleep. Like I woke up like 3 times and I think I did it 2 days in a row, not even clocking it because I had so many shows last week. And yeah, I was like, oh, I think I have sleep apnea. Like, I think I'm not sleeping properly. And then, of course, this becomes a horrible feedback loop because now, as I'm extremely concerned about the sleep apnea, it's like making me conscious of my sleep, which is, of course, hurting my sleep. Right. So anyway, this kind of turns out funny because I go to that ground floor thing. It's like a social club I'm part of. Yeah. There's a guy there, super interesting. He's a friend of mine. He's literally a complete doctor. Done. Ready to be a doctor. And then he's like, I don't want to be a doctor.
Yeah, he wants to be a stand-up or comedian of some sort.
Yeah, an entertainer of sorts.
Yeah, he went through all of medical school.
Everything, you guys. I can't believe it. It's so fascinating to me. But he has a sense of humor about it and everything. But, I mean, everyone's like, does he have debt? I'm like, I'm not asking him that. That's clearly not a good question to ask. Yeah. But anyway, so I had called, it's like a shitty teledoc. You know teledoc where you call? It's called MD Live. I had the worst guy ever. He was literally like, ear, nose, throat doctor. And I was like, okay. Like, I gave him everything. And he's like, and pulmonologist. I was like, okay, anything else? He's like, nope, that's it. And like hung up. And I was like, I can't believe I just paid $35 for that. Like, ChatGPT would have done better.
Yeah. But did he give you a referral?
No. I guess you don't even need a referral. I just called the ear, nose, and throat. No, I just called the ear, nose, and throat doctor.
With my insurance, I do. Yeah. I need a referral for everything.
They said it was covered on insurance, so I guess we'll see what happens.
Cool. You got in right away.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm seeing like a student or something.
Oh.
So they were like, is that fine?
They want to see if they should give you a nose job or whatever it's called?
No, we're not at that point. This would be like get imaging done to see if we should give you. Anyway, so I asked this guy, though, who was a doctor. And I was like, I have sleep apnea. I'm dying. It's really a very serious condition if you have sleep apnea. Do you know what it is?
Yeah.
You just wait. Yeah. So it takes like 20 years off your life. Like it's horrible if it's untreated. It's so bad.
That's where they have those machines that they go to sleep with. Because can't you like fall? Can't you like die in the middle of sleep?
You can't. Wow, it's funny, huh? No. You
Just sounds
can.
ridiculous.
It's like you could die during sleep, but more likely you'll just die early of a heart attack. Like it's really hard on your heart and your brain. It makes you stupider. And then I was
Wait,
like, I've been feeling stupid.
All right, well maybe I don't know what it is. What is it?
All it is,
the oxygen doesn't get to your brain or something?
Because your breathing cycle is irregular. And essentially, like, you don't breathe for long periods during your sleep. Like, there's a Wikipedia recording that is, like, terrifying, where someone just goes 30 seconds.
Doesn't breathe for
for 30 seconds. And then finally they're like, and you're like, finally breathe. God, bro, breathe. That's how my dad sounds. I was actually concerned about my dad when I researched this, because that motherfucker snore.
But not all snorers have this.
No, and that's what I found out. I was like, yeah, I have a deviated septum, so therefore I have sleep apnea, and therefore I'm dying. And he was like, no. He's like, that's not true at all. And I was like, what? He's like, the sleep apnea happens because your nose is linked to all your same air. Like, I'm a moron. It's because of your neck. It's, or like whatever, this like structure, like.
Oh, that's what sleep apnea is? It's in your neck?
This collapses, not your nose. So
because then you can breathe out of your mouth.
Exactly. So,
well, guys, what a learning lesson today.
We love a good learning lesson.
Medical shower.
Well, hopefully Shannon and I get our ear, nose, and throat fixed. That'd be good.
Yeah, that would be good. I hope.
That'd be nice.
One of these days.
One of these days.
This is my year of health. I'm trying to get all my health stuff together that I've been procrastinating for a long time.
Wow, okay.
I'm growing up.
There you go. Our second story of the day, AITA for telling my wife I didn't enjoy the birthday surprise she planned for me. Shanna's going to read that. But first, folks, it's AITA for refusing to tattoo at my cousin's wedding. I am a tattoo artist. My family and I are invited to my cousin's wedding out of state. Now the wedding is in a week. Out of the blue, my cousin Matt texted me, "You're going to tattoo me on my wedding day." I was a bit confused as I never even thought of bringing my equipment. I jokingly asked if he has a machine, as I still hoped he wasn't serious. He then asked if I didn't have one, and that one machine wouldn't take up that much space to take with. I replied that I didn't plan on bringing my equipment, color, hygiene stuff, stencil, and that I'm not prepared to tattoo at a wedding. I don't know anything about the layout of this location. Is it inside, outside, and so on? He then said that he had planned on this. It would be his first tattoo, and that it would mean a lot to him to get a tattoo on his wedding day, and that I'd be the one to tattoo him. Remember that this is the first time I'm hearing this. I again tried to explain that I don't feel comfortable with that and that it's quite short notice. I work until I fly over to attend the wedding, and a tattoo needs to be designed first. He saw my message but didn't reply anymore. This morning, my mother called and said she was furious. She asked why I couldn't pull my shit together and just tattoo Matt. I told her what I previously told Matt, but she didn't want to hear it. She just said it would mean a lot to her and Matt's family if I do that, and that it could be my wedding gift. Then she hung up. I did already get them a gift. I oil painted them a painting, which I spent several days on. So I also don't plan to give him a voucher as a gift. I'm unsure what to do now. As I said, I'm not really comfortable with the whole situation. AITA.
Well, it definitely feels a little bit, out of the blue. Doesn't really seem
before
a week before. I mean, I know that he's family, so a lot of times family does talk differently to each other than friends would, but just the fact that he didn't ask, he just was like, "You're gonna do this." There wasn't even any kind of, asking involved.
Yeah.
So it was very presumptuous. And like she said, or whoever OP is, they said, that takes a lot to plan. You have to, I have no idea what it takes to bring tattoo equipment on the plane, but you probably have to check that. It's needles. Can't imagine that you're allowed to bring that in your carry-on.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure it's just a lot of shit to bring. Really, what is a tattoo if not a very superficial surgery? Right? It's permanent. It alters your body. It's a serious thing.
Yeah, here it says TSA allows tattoo machines in both carry-on and checked baggage, but they may have special instructions. Device with lithium metal or ion batteries should be carried in a carry-on. Okay, so you could. But, you know, I mean, for me, like I am very conscious of like how I'm packing. Like I just want to always pack a carry-on. I never want to check my luggage ever. Even if it's like a 2-week trip, I won't check my luggage.
Really?
Yeah.
Damn.
No way.
Dedication.
It's so annoying to me. I hate when that happens. And then the last minute when they make you, like a couple months ago, they made me check my bag right at the gate. And then I got on and there was so much room. They were like, yeah, there's no more room anymore. And I get in and there's all these overhead bins available. I was so frustrated. But yeah, I just don't want to be dealing with what?
Bothers you a lot, huh?
To check my bag.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so annoying.
Just having to go to Barrett, the carousel and everything.
Yeah, it takes so long. It adds like an extra like half an hour, if not more, to your travel plans.
I don't know why it doesn't. I don't know. Once the trips is, I guess I've been burned the other way.
And what?
Where I'm like, I'm gonna take a small bag because it's so convenient, and then I'm like, no, this is definitely a huge pain in the ass that I don't have a lot of shit I needed
For like a long trip.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to Europe in September. I might bring a big luggage.
September Europe trip.
It'll be like 2 weeks, and I have 2 weddings that have like a bunch of events. So
in Europe?
Yeah, and they're back to back. Luckily, we got lucky that way.
Thank God.
But yeah, in that case, I have to bring like at least 4 dresses to all the different events.
That's a lot of dresses.
Yeah. And I can't double wear. Hello.
What are you, crazy?
What are you,
It's
crazy?
awful.
So all that to say is I just think that it would be frustrating to be like, oh, God damn it. Like I was definitely planning on just bringing a carry-on, and now I have to like figure out how to fit my tattoo machine in. And like she was saying, the venue layout, she doesn't know where that's going to be. Like you definitely need like kind of a sterile environment to do it. Plus, everyone's drinking.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know about the logistics of all this because I guess it does kind of portend on this because I'm sort of like
Portend.
Portend.
What's that word?
Portend.
Portend.
To indicate in advance, to foreshadow or presage, as an omen does. The street incident may portend a general uprising.
Interesting.
You know
Synonyms: forebode, betoken, augur. I only know one of those words. Betoken.
I don't really disagree with this definition. I don't really agree with it. Yeah, this is how I meant it. Indicate or signal. No, you know what? I think I misused it. I think I'm ready to ding. I think that was a botch.
Okay.
To give an omen or anticipatory sign of, that's not really
an omen.
No, this is not an omen. It's not really an indication. I think this was a misuse. I plead guilty.
All right.
I guess what I'm trying to say is, does this really have to do with the situation in terms of how logistically difficult is it to bring your tattoo shit? I would say it's kind of like a hair thing, right? Like, obviously, if you're cutting a guy like me's hair, you can get away with probably just a buzzer and some scissors. But if you're a pro and you want to do it right, I bet you would say, well, no, you think that because you're a moron. But I also need my spray bottle. And I need a fucking, what is that thing called? The little bib you wear?
Bib.
And
like
the
that.
bib, they call that a bib. And all these other little tools, because I'm a professional and there's a way I like to work. So I'm not going to just do it schlubby mubby just because you want it on your wedding, hubby, you dumb fuck.
Oh, you're right.
So I guess I feel like even if it was relatively simple, I can't vouch exactly how simple. It's kind of like I have a way I like to do it. It's kind of like doing stand-up. It's like, oh, can you just do stand-up? Well, yeah, I could just stand up on a stage and tell jokes, but there's a reason why shit goes badly when you just do that, because it has to be set up in a certain way.
Well, the other thing, too, is now you're on the clock. You think you're going to a wedding. You think you're going there to have a good time, let loose, kick back some drinks, get on the dance floor, and now you have to do your job at this wedding.
Yeah, I mean, I think if he had asked prior, I don't think that doesn't seem, if someone was like, hey, it's my wedding, will you write a joke or whatever, will you make a video or something?
Well,
And
then
be
you're like prepared. But if
yeah,
somebody a week in
no.
advance was all of a sudden like, hey, can you basically like be the MC for the night? Wouldn't you be like, what the hell?
Yeah, absolutely.
Or at least for like when they come in or something, like maybe not for the whole night, because I think the tattoo wouldn't take entirely too long. Hopefully that it's only a quickie, but tattoos take a while.
Yeah, it takes at least a couple hours.
Well, no, a little one wouldn't.
Oh, can they do a tattoo in an hour? I was under the impression a
Less.
small one takes 2 hours.
No.
No?
I have the one under my lip. You ever seen that?
I mean, I feel like that is a tiny little tattoo, though. If it's
Yeah.
just letters, I feel like that's exceptionally small. Like a little heart.
Yeah, that would take 30 seconds probably. This took a minute.
A minute?
1 minute, yeah.
Interesting. Okay, because
I have live under my lip for those of you who are curious.
I just went into all the tattoo shops in my neighborhood, which, by the way, I've read as a good economic indicator that the economy is doing badly, because all the tattoo shops are like, yeah, we're not moving tats.
I don't know how they ever are doing well, honestly.
They said it's a lot of creative people get tattoos regularly. It's kind of addicting.
Yeah.
They have regulars, and they told me a medium tattoo takes 2 to 4 hours. But I guess we're talking about a medium piece and a small piece. I think what we're talking, yours are more like flash sale.
If it was
kind of
literally
shit.
like this, a heart,
Micro.
that would probably
Like
take
micro, yeah.
30
Tiny.
seconds.
Yeah, tiny.
About a minute. Not even.
Yeah, well, how much did you pay for that?
Well, with tattoos, there's a minimum because when you open up the ink and the needles and stuff, like you have to pay for that. Like
Yeah.
regardless if I'm just using the tiniest little bit of the ink cartridge. I do not think that's what it's called.
Right.
But whatever it's called, you have to pay for that. So I think I paid like, I want to say 100.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking here. Tattoos, piercing, price list. They're saying 400 for a big, 200 for a small. It seems like yours is like a micro, like almost outside of the. No, it says here a small, 3 inches or less, an hour or less. So maybe he just meant medium.
I mean, I think it depends on the intricacy of it. Like a
Yeah.
small tattoo can have a ton of shading in it, and
If it's a little heart.
if it's just a line tattoo with like a date, like what if he was getting a date,
Yeah.
What if he was getting like 2024? Like that would not take long at all. And I'm guessing like flash tattoos, like when we go to those parties or whatever that have
Yeah.
them, like I don't think those take long at all.
That's your one tattoo.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I never wanted to get one that was visible, like for
Right.
acting and
How often do
stuff.
you show that thing?
Barely. And I forget it's even there.
I forget too.
Did
It's
you
shocking
know?
every time? Yeah.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, you've shown me that several times.
Oh, I guess I'm just flashing.
Yeah, you're flashing
Only in
out your
front of
gum. You do that when you're angry.
I guess. I make a crazy face and it just shows up.
Yeah, I think this is a big ask. I don't know. Even if it was easy, you're asking someone to do what they do professionally. You're asking them with very short notice. Not even asking, demanding. And I just think like it's not okay. It's honestly just really not okay to command and demand. This is very much like classic wedding self-centeredness that we see. But it is out of a man this time.
Well, then also to like get the whole family, like, pitchforks rallying behind you. It's kind of like, I don't know. It's asking a lot. And then
childish.
also the fact that she already oil painted them a beautiful painting. Like, she's already putting in a lot of effort here. And I think that her reasoning was completely, understandable. Like the logistics of it all. I think maybe she could have been like, let's do it next time. Like, we get together. I'll totally do it. But
Yeah, she didn't have to accommodate this. I mean, it's kind of like you just don't have to. It's a kindness and it's a profession like any other. And it's like, no, I got you a gift just because you happen to benefit from my profession doesn't mean I owe it to you. Could be true of anything.
where there's an update.
It is.
I got a hold of the bride, Becky, and asked her about the request her fiance confronted me with. She agreed with me immediately. She thanked me for telling her, as no one else did. Becky seemed really mad, but she seemed to pull herself together. I'm assuming Becky confronted Matt after our call because only 3 to 4 hours later, I checked the family group chat and there was a message from Becky. There will be no ceremony on the 13th as Matt and I decided we aren't getting married. Matt and I have things to figure out, so please text or call us tomorrow if you have any questions. For the rest of the day, we'll be on flight mode, like airplane mode.
Guess so.
After dinner, Becky called me and apologized for Matt again. She said it was a stupid idea of his and that he just thought it would be cool. She then informed me that she still wants me to fly over for the wedding as she will be hosting a party instead of a wedding. Everything is paid for anyway and she doesn't want it to go to waste. I asked if they broke up. She said not yet, but I'm going to stay at my sister's place until next week. I'm assuming Matt hasn't been too great, but I'm sure I'll hear about it. My call must have been the last straw.
So it sounds like Matt was just a piece of shit in every way.
Strange. I mean, like she said, I really hope that it is like the last straw thing, because otherwise that is just so odd that this would make the bride that mad. It's like not that big of a deal.
No, it was a reflection of his character, of the kind of guy this is. That's how I read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this is just wedding entitlement, which comes out in a lot of ways, and it was very chaotic, but there's really nothing too extraordinary or different about being a tattooed artist. Could have been a doctor, could have been anything, and it was just a rude, demanding request that honestly didn't honor this pretty amazing gift that OP had already made. For these reasons, AITA for refusing to tattoo at my cousin's wedding, I am at, not the asshole, and Matt is.
Yes, NTA. AITA for telling my wife I didn't enjoy the birthday surprise she planned for me. My 36M wife, 37F, said she would plan something for my birthday. She asked if there was anything I wanted to do, and I told her no. We've been together 10 years, married for 7. We have 3 kids under 6, so planning activities can be tricky. Traveling is tough, and staying in uncomfortable places with kids is stressful. So my wife packs an overnight suitcase for everyone and loads up our van. We drive an hour and 45 minutes to a small town, then take a long, rocky, narrow road to a tiny cabin Airbnb in a remote, heavily wooded area. It's a single room with a galley kitchen, 1 bed, and a pull-out couch. It's cramped with 3 kids. There's not much to do, no walking trails, and nowhere to drive except back on that awful road. I'm asked to drive back to get dinner from a nearby bar. I'm surprised, and not in a good way. I don't say anything bad about the property, but I can't hide my feelings, and she can tell I'm not a fan.
Yeesh.
We unpack, walk around. She has some gifts for me to open in front of the kids. We have cake and then spend 4 to 5 hours trying to pass the time. The highlight is sneaking in a quickie in the outdoor bathtub.
Ooh.
After that, we go through the tiresome routine of getting all 3 kids to sleep, which is extra hard in a tiny cabin. We wake up early because the cabin has no curtains. My wife tells me we're going to do a 5K bubble and color run. I smile and say, okay, let's do it. Not wanting to sound disappointed, but probably failing to hide it. I'm not a runner. I've never said I wanted to run, but whatever, let's try it. We pack up and head to the event. It's a small, cheap event on a hot day. Our 2 youngest don't want to do this, but we start the race anyway. Our oldest takes off, causing us to lose him twice. I frantically try to catch up, ending up sweaty, winded, with aching knees. Not fun. After my wife finishes with our other 2 kids, we walk around a small street fair and let the kids play. It's fine, but I am ready to rest. My wife tells me we're supposed to meet friends at the beach later, so we have to drive 2 hours back, hoping the kids nap in the car. I take a nap feeling quiet and not in a good mood. We go to the beach and 2 of our kids start melting down. I am done with the day and would prefer to be home. Eventually they chill, we find some shade, and it's fine. When we got home, it's a mad dash to get the kids showered and in bed while I unpack, clean the car and house. My wife asks what's wrong, and I tell her I appreciate her effort, but it didn't feel like she planned it with me in mind. I don't like running. I want comfort when traveling with the kids, and it was exhausting. It was a lot of effort for something not enjoyable. She flips out, devastated that I didn't enjoy it, and angry at me for not just being grateful somebody planned something for me. AITA.
Oof. Yeah, I mean, I think wife I feel for her a little bit. I mean, this can be a hard botch to accept. Like, I don't know. I don't know what made up the botch here. It's like, did she not think it through? I mean, they've been together for 10 years.
I know.
Think she'd have a little more experience, but like the Airbnb listing might have been a little deceiving. Like
True.
might have just been kind of thing. She got excited.
Yes, because especially with like Airbnbs, like sometimes they really can be so deceptive.
I know.
And like I'm always like insecure a little bit when I'm picking out like a restaurant or a hotel or something for like Max and I to stay, because like I don't want it to be bad, and like sometimes I'm not the best judgment of that.
Yeah.
Like especially with restaurants, like 'cause a lot of times you don't know if the food's gonna be good or not. Like reviews can be deceiving sometimes, and like I don't know. I just always feel a little bit more pressure when I'm the one having to pick that stuff out.
Yeah. It's definitely like a tough situation. You feel liable, but it was a botch.
Yeah, so I can see like getting there and being like, oh no. Fuck.
But that's the thing, is that she just kind of seemed like nothing's wrong.
Yeah, she didn't seem
Nothing's wrong.
like she thought maybe it was going well, I guess. I don't know.
I know that Airbnb hit that outdoor bathtub hard. You know,
For
that shit has like
sure.
those they always put those corny bullshit like purple backlit LED and shit. Like that doesn't really make it better. It just looks good for the photo.
Yes. Yeah. Photos can be very misleading. But especially because she said, like, is there anything that he wanted to do? And he said no. Like, I think a lot of times that is kind of maybe an indication of like, let's keep it chill. Because I know a lot of like, there are some years where I'm like, I don't really want to do anything for my birthday.
Yeah.
And I'm like, let's just, well, actually, this is what happened with Max. Actually, shout out Onella. She helped me with like some spots for Toronto because we were going to go there for Memorial Day. We didn't end up going because we just had been traveling a lot, and it was kind of like, let's just chill. And Max wanted to just hang out and stay at home. But thank you for the Rex, and we want to go there eventually. But and that's when we like cooked at home. And he literally was like, I don't even want to leave Venice. Like he didn't even want to, because I was like, oh, maybe let's go down to Redondo or something. But he was like, I don't even want to leave. So then in that case, it was like, imagine if that I then was like, okay, we're going to Big Bear.
Yeah.
We're going to go like glamping up in Big Bear real quick. He'd be like, I said I didn't want to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not really dinging her for the freaking cabin. I think she was trying.
Yes.
You're right that maybe she could have read it, but I'm not going to blame her for that. But where I do start to, I think, ready to mount charges, where it's like, okay, I just really do now feel like you're being a little thoughtless. Like, I'm not a runner. I've never said I wanted to run. Like, I just feel like she did not really put in any effort there to the activity.
Oh my God. The color run.
That sounds terrible.
Which actually I did do a color run.
What is a color run?
10 years ago. It's you go, and I guess actually they give you like a white shirt, and then at the end, I think it's like all these like powdery colors that get like thrown all over the place, and like on your shirt and then on your body and stuff. I mean, we had a good time. I went with my friends. We just like walked it basically, but because the 5K is like not too terribly long. Like,
no, it's 3 miles. It's nothing.
Yeah, you don't have to run it. But I definitely know that like if you plan that for someone that's not into that, like that's just not going to sound fun, especially like waking up early to do it.
This trip sounds horrible.
It is frustrating when people like don't think of the person that they're like getting gifts for in mind. Like you can't a lot of times just plan or buy gifts that you like or plan something that you would want to do. Like you got to put yourself in the mindset of the person receiving the gift.
This is a botched accommodation. I think that really made everything else worse because if the place you're staying sucks, then everything just kind of sucks around it. I mean, she could have saved herself a little bit, but
also, where did they go? I'm kind of
some
confused, like where they went.
Small forest town, it sounds like.
Well, and then also he was the one that had to go down and go drive back down that shitty, long, narrow road to go get dinner. It was like,
yeah,
she should do that. What do you mean, yeah?
I don't know. A lot of women don't like to drive on sketchy roads. I mean,
then don't plan somewhere where you have to do that.
But I can give her grace on that. Like, they're probably not going to put that in the listing. I'm ready to ding Airbnb on this shit because these motherfuckers, they never include that kind of thing. Like, they'll be like, our beautiful cabin is up a delightful desert road where you'll be exposed to the elements. And it's like, it's literally the most dangerous death path I've ever seen. I wish my vehicle had a parachute, you know? I can only blame her for so much, but like, look, first thing I'm looking at, and I was actually just looking at Airbnbs, I love 29 Palms. Hello, budget Palm Springs, is, rooms. I want to be separate. I don't want to be with anybody. I want my own separate room. And, it really seems like, and a hot tub. This was a botch. She didn't own the botch, and it could have been funny. It's funny to go through something horrible with someone when you're on the same team, but she was kind of in denial about it.
Yeah, you can like make jokes about it and
let's go back to
have a common enemy.
There you go. NTA writes Loud Cricket 72. I mean, it's nice that your wife planned the surprise B-Day trip, but at the same time, some situational awareness would have been nice. After being together for 10 years, she should know what you probably are or aren't going to enjoy. She shouldn't flip out that you didn't like the trip. I mean, that's the risk she takes when she doesn't consult with you or include you in the planning. At least you were being honest with her. I reemphasized to her that you appreciate the thought, but you would prefer to be consulted or included in the planning. I don't know if I would word it like that. I don't think I appreciate the thought. I appreciate that you didn't think enough.
Yeah.
Think more next time.
But he even did say, like, I appreciate your effort.
I don't know.
And she's like, well, just be grateful that somebody planned something for you. Okay, well, it was shitty. What do you want me to say?
It kind of feels like, I kind of feel like we could have improvised our way into a better trip. Like, I just think she needs to own the botch. She got fooled by a listing, something like that. But like,
and also planning too much in one day. You're getting up, you're doing the color run, you're going to a festival, like a street fair, and then you're going to drive 2 hours back and meet friends at the beach. Like, what are you guys, 21 years old? I ain't got the energy for that anymore.
Yeah, it's a lot.
They're in their late 30s with 3 kids.
I feel like she's trying.
This would have been a great gift for somebody else. Just wasn't for him.
Yeah, I've done this. I mean, I get it. Sometimes we get a little caught up in our own bullshit. We just planned a day for someone and then realize like, oh, this wasn't really like what they want. I think it's fair. It was a lot of effort, but I think the accommodation botch is like, you just really put us in a tough situation and it wasn't enjoyable. And then you try to pretend like it wasn't tough, which is isolating and lonely.
Yeah.
AITA for telling my wife I didn't enjoy the birthday surprise she planned for me. I'm sorry, honey, but it's one thing to botch, but to botch and deny, you got to grow up. You're 37 years old. I'm an NTA and she is.
Yes. Agreed.
All right, folks, we're going to wrap this thing up. AITA for socially denying a woman a seat next to me on the bus. I ride a pretty sparsely ridden bus from my work to my college. It's never even close to half full. There are always rows of empty seats. I use a light linen bag for work, and I don't want to put it on the floor or on my lap, so I put it on the seat next to me. All the seats are pairs, 2 seats next to each other. I don't mind anyone sitting next to me, but the bus is never close to full, so I use the space for my bag. Yesterday, during my commute, a lady got on the bus and grimaced at me. She gestured for me to remove my bag so she could sit next to me. As usual, there were many empty seats. I wasn't sitting in a disabled area or a reserved area. There were seats closer to the door. But whatever. I'm non-confrontational. I removed my bag so she could sit. I rolled my eyes when she sat down next to me and sighed, not to be obvious, but just because I got off an 8-hour shift. I was tired and wanted my own space, and she didn't have to sit next to me. Mm-hmm. She clearly noticed. She then said, "You need to learn some manners." After that, I got up and moved to another seat. But the whole thing has been bothering me for a day. Did I really lack manners? It just feels like she sat there to teach me a lesson when she could have sat anywhere else. AITA. Evil, evil lady.
Which one? The one that made her move it?
Yeah, it's like,
what is socially denying?
I don't know. Someone who isn't very good at writing, but
socially
it's
denying
not a crime.
A woman.
It doesn't make her an asshole. It just makes her add extra words to sentences. AITA for denying a woman a seat next to me on the bus. This is a type of person. This is a type of person. Now, we see them most in the movie theater. But there's a good reason this happens in the movie theater, because there are, let's be honest, not that many seats that are ideal, right? You want center back.
Oh,
not
so
the very
you're
back.
saying there's people that like sit close.
You've never heard that trope?
No.
When you go to the movie theater and someone sits directly next to you? You're like, there's a whole empty theater.
No, I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's like a trope because they sit directly next to you. But of course, there's a reason for that. Of course, they shouldn't sit directly next to you. What are you, a sociopath? Mm-hmm. But they sit generally, we all want to sit in the same area. We don't want to sit off to the right.
Yeah.
You know?
I had this happen at the beach. This was like years ago, probably when I was a teenager. And it was like the late afternoon. And I went down and to just go chill at the beach before dinner. And this like European couple.
Oh, Shannon.
They came and sat right next to me.
Oh, hello. We sit right next to you.
And I was like, can I help you? The whole beach was like fully.
Is there any reason to sit next to you?
Not that I know.
Oh, we're looking for a third.
Maybe that's what it was. Well, you should have just said so.
There we go.
No, but and also Wildwood has like the biggest beach ever. It's like the longest. It's 3/4 of a mile long.
Okay.
Which is very long.
Sure.
Or is it a 1/4 mile long?
Yeah, I think, sounds long.
But I was like, excuse me, like, can I help you? And so now I'm just wondering, like, was that a European thing?
No, that's aggression. That's standard aggression. I refuse to believe that's a European thing. That is a form of aggression. It just is. Not in a movie theater, though. But on the beach, can we think of any possible reason why that area would be different than the other fucking square miles of area?
Yeah.
No.
It was insane.
I think in a movie theater, I could bend my rules a little bit because there kind of is an ideal, even probably an ideal row and seat number that you could point to because you're like, that's dead center. That's
center.
And you want the screen to exactly go to the edges of your eyes. That's when it's perfect, right? Because then I can pretend I don't have to live my life. My life is the movie now. I'm not in my life anymore.
That's right.
I'm in a relationship in this movie. Anyway.
Okay, he's losing it.
I think this thing is this person is committing the sin, but this is not really about the sin because she's not gaining anything. She might even be losing something to take this shitty area. She just wants to be condescending. She wants to talk down to someone. She's alone because she's lonely.
Yeah, it's like she saw it and she saw the bag and was like, I'm gonna do this. Like, I'm gonna cause a problem to cause a goddamn problem.
Exactly. I used to always say this in a relationship. I agree. It would be a problem if it were a problem.
Yeah.
And that's what this is.
Yeah, exactly. Like if everyone else was full,
right,
then it would be. Actually, I had an interesting thing happen at the MRI place today. It was funny. This like 80-year-old man, I overhear this happening. He gets up, he stands up, and he asks another, like a 60-year-old man,
"Hey, youngin,
do you want to sit down?" And the 60-year-old man was like, I think I'm a little too young to be getting asked if I want to
You want to sit, youngster?
If I need a seat, I've got a few more years left in me. He like said something like that.
Okay.
And so they'd run it. He's like, okay. And then like I turn around, but he doesn't offer me a seat. But then like 2 seconds later, he does the exact same thing to like a 50-year-old woman.
Okay.
So I just thought it was interesting.
But he's 80.
He's 80.
I don't want to, I'm good 80. I still play pickleball. I'm winning pickleball. I'm a 4.
I think that everyone was just like, no, it's okay.
It's okay. All right, I'm sitting. I'll tell you an old man story. I went over there to when the fucking motherfuckers in the Casa Grande, what's it called? Take 5 Oil. Never go to Take 5 Oil. Did I ever tell the story when I got to Take 5 Oil?
No, I don't know.
They're like, Take 5. Take 5. It only takes 5 minutes. It only takes 5 minutes. Fastest oil change you ever got. Fastest oil change you ever get. Then you go in and it's like kind of ridiculous. They're like, what's your name, sir? And you're like, okay, just like, I don't know.
Oh, they want to do it like really, really fast.
We go really so fast. We're so fast. So then sure enough, it's very fast where you're like, wow, I didn't even know that was possible. And guess what? It's not. It's not, because I woke up that morning ready to drive to California, and guess what was underneath my 2021 Camry Hybrid? A puddle of oil.
You did
These
tell me that.
fucking morons. So anyway, I go to this other oil spot or whatever, a more legit place that's like Take 10. I'm like, that's reasonable. No, I'm just kidding. It's called whatever. I forgot what it's called. But anyway, this guy goes in. This guy, he was at least 80, and he is clearly like a farmer. He had like overalls on and shit.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just kind of, he's like waiting for the guy to come back for whatever reason, and then he just goes, I left my wallet in my car. And then just walked out to go get his wallet. And I was like, do we need that to be broadcast, bro? Like, I didn't know. How's that? What am I supposed to do with that information?
He just realized it. Yeah. Just said it out loud.
Yeah. I feel like when you reach a certain age, everything is like, Rah! There's like notification sounds like, Rah! I left my wallet. You're like, what?
Was he telling the people that work there?
No, the guy was gone. It was me and the other guy in the waiting room. That was the only 2 people in the room. It's like, thanks. Should we accompany you? Like, are we on a quest now together?
Yeah, that would have been sweet.
You kook.
You kooky.
So any hoozle, excuse me, sorry to anyone that offended. IC Department 1423. NTA, if it happens again, just say, sure, stand up, grab your bag, and find another seat, especially if they pass empty seats to get to your adjacent empty seat. You need to learn some manners.
Yeah, I would have done the same exact thing. Been like, oh, God, are you kidding me? Or I think I would have even been like, oh, there's another seat over there. There's plenty of other seats.
You think you would have pushed back? Let's play it out. I don't believe you. Excuse me, Missy. Can you take off your purse here? I want to sit here.
Well, there are a lot of other empty seats around.
You shouldn't have your purse there, miss. That's taking up a seat.
There's literally no... Okay, fine. I'll take it off.
I win this round. You want to meet my goose?
I think maybe I would get up and sit somewhere else.
Yeah.
I think I would do that instead of telling her to sit somewhere else. I'd be like, actually, maybe I'll just sit somewhere else.
I'm going to go. You just hissed at me, you weird lady.
You crazy cat lady.
But I think this is giving boomer or whatever. I think we agree. This woman, whatever she is, she giving boomer.
What? Everyone needs to stop hating on them. It's such a boring joke.
Okay.
I'm so bored with it.
Okay. Well, why don't you come up with a new joke then?
About what?
About how we hate on this woman.
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
This woman.
This woman who?
This woman's annoying.
Everybody goes crazy.
Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for your support. We'll see you next time, guys.
Bye.
I think we agree it's YTA.
Did we not say?
I don't think we did.